Good afternoon, Jeremy. We're down here at Bavarian today working on a 2017 X1 that came in having overheated. Could you tell me about the common issue that we're seeing on these cars and Minis that share the same engine?
Yes, what happened here is it came in with no coolant. We've got the oil filter housing here. Oil filter goes here, sits in the motor about like that in that hole. And what they did was they ran pressurized oil and coolant through this plastic housing. Can you imagine what happened? So this little bit here, the plastic broke, gasket tore, and it was pouring coolant out the top, and it lost all of its coolant. Thankfully they pulled over quickly, so I think this motor is going to be fine. But we're seeing this happen more and more on these B series motors. B48, B36, B58, pretty much any BMW that isn't a V8 has a plastic oil filter housing that can have this failure.
Right.
This one's early. This one's at 48,000 miles, one of the lowest that we've seen. But right around 100,000 miles, we're seeing these start to fail. Sometimes you have warning signs. One of the big reasons we like our oil services is we pull down the covers and look to see if stuff is leaking. I've caught filter housings where coolant was starting to pour out, but it hadn't yet failed, and we saved them from having to replace the engine. Sometimes you have warnings, sometimes they just go. Around 100,000 miles, I'm starting to think it's time to replace this preventatively, just because it's plastic, it gets hot, it spends its time in the pocket of the engine with very little airflow. Certainly one of the weak points of the engine, but I think this one's gonna be okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeremy.